Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another Peninsular War bit of action for you today. We are back with NTW 3 on the channel, and we have the Portuguese infantry here already letting off a brilliant volley to start off today's battle. Like I said, we have a bit of a Peninsular battle here today. We have the British and the Spanish taking on a French army here. We have some dragoons going forward. They'll be clashing with some Portuguese cavalry battalion here. In they go straight away, clashing swords and battling away. This one has actually been called, bizarrely, the Second Battle of Acana, which there isn't actually. I did quickly look it up. I was like, I know there is one Battle of Acana where there is no British at, but I thought, oh, maybe they're just like trying to make their own like weird scenario. The British here need to hold fire. The Queen's own Germans here firing to the back of the British cav here. They have broken those dragoons. And we do have Royal Military Artificers in here. It's like a unit that just puts some stakes, I guess. We get the Hussars here for the French. Also look like they're about to lose. We have got a whole bunch of Legere now setting up, along with probably some line infantry. Actually, there's a lot of Legere by the looks of it at the moment. You can't tell because they all have these like green tufts on their hats. That's how I describe them. Yeah, this is apparently an excellent battle, which was set in by one of myself quite a little while ago, but had reminded me, hope you haven't checked this one out. It's a really, really cool battle, and I was like, dude, I definitely need to do so, because it does look amazing. And who doesn't like a bit of Peninsular War action? Especially me, as like a big fan of the Sharp series, big fan of that, and that's mainly focuses on the Peninsular campaign. We have some Lancers as well going in here. It's like a Polish Lancer unit or something, around those stakes. We do have some cavalry here going in as well. Some Blake's Corps, they're routing out that infantry unit there. So that's really nicely done. So yes, we have a Beresford army over here, and then I believe we have one Blake, we have another Blake, and a Irizarno Corps. So we have 3 Spanish corps and 1 British up against 3 French. I don't know which one, but I imagine it's going to be like Soult and maybe like Messena or Marmont. So ones like that. I'm not entirely sure. These infantry in these form square. We have French dragoons coming in. Portuguese infantry is going to form square, but it's going to get support now from the Spanish cavalry. And in comes this cavalry as well. They need to be careful. They could run into these stakes with the French here. In fact, they are. I mean, actually, that is Spanish cav, so that's fine. The Spanish cav has broken along with the Portuguese infantry, and now the French cav can get into these artillery pieces back here. These 6-pounders from the Portuguese getting routed here. Big win there for the French. They've actually killed off a general as well, I think, back here. Why Beresford's generals is back here, and these Queen's Own dragoons have been trying to protect him, but in fact, Beresford is now dead. He's like commander-in-chief as well of like the Portuguese troops at the time, so that's not he's like basically number 2 to Wellington in the Peninsular campaign. Kind of a big loss for the British, but they will fight on because they are here to fight for king and country. The Brits are no feeble Frenchies that break up just the side of their general dying. They will fight on. But yes, I hope you guys are enjoying the NTW 3 action. If you are, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and comment section. Really help out the channel. Great volley there, right at the last second from that Portuguese unit. That was really good. Alexander Anderson leading the unit, apparently. Yeah, it certainly seems like the French putting a lot of pressure on the British to start with. I think they think that the Spanish should give after the taking because their infantry is so much lower quality than the British. Certainly might be the case, and the French are going to be able to catch this unit here as the dragoons catch out this Spanish infantry that's broken ranks. I will form square there, and it looks like they might just be about safe there. I don't know. That's very close to breaking anyway. And yeah, there goes that Alexander Anderson unit. And yeah, the British are on the run at the moment, it seems, and it looks like in fact that the Queen's Own dragoons have been routed. Massive loss. And we've got like some skirmishes back here also being broken. Yeah, this is a huge loss here. This is a really good unit as well. Like dragoons for the British are like cuirassier like level. They're like the heavy cav for the British. The dragoons taking them out. It's a big loss, really. Amazing. Yeah, the skirmishes here just going to get wiped out. But we've got another dragoon unit here though. We've got the Prince of Wales Dragoon Guards here. Dragoon Guards even I guess even better, really, because they're a guard unit. But some more good cav still for the British to be sent forward. And it looks like this Blake army here, this Blake corps is being routed pretty decisively. Yeah, we've got French infantry and cav in there, and they just destroyed like 3 units of infantry here. This is not good. All like, well, some of this British as well, but they've also got rid of that cavalry. This is a provisional cav unit. Over here, Spain still yet to face anything around the city of Acana here. And we actually bizarrely haven't done the Battle of Acana as a historical scenario, which we'll definitely have to do. It's almost like a Cannae sort of style battle if we ever come around to doing it. Like the Spanish, it's like one of the Spanish's most decisive defeats. Probably one of the Peninsular War's most decisive defeats, to be honest, for either side. As like the whole Spanish army like surrenders, gets captured and surrendered, and like 19,000 get killed as well. It's brutal, it really is. We've got a Royal Guard unit here for the Spanish setting up. That's cool to see. Hopefully they'll do pretty well. They can form square as expected. Might be one of the few elite units that the Spanish have, but yeah, they're going to need to pull off a bit of a miracle here because the French are being brutal right now. Here we go. In go the French once again. You can see this infantry here trying to form, well not form square, sorry, trying to hold them back. Beat them in melee though, that volley helped. I think the Royal Guard should be okay. Oh, maybe not with cav supporting though. That might not help. But the cav just recharge its own infantry. So it's hard to say. Certainly doesn't seem like it's doing great help for the morale on the flanking units here either. Spanish bringing forward some dragoons. Looks like they're going to be clashing with the French ones. And in they go. Quite confusing that both sides are in green. Sure, that can't be helping. Like in the flurry of battle, you might just kill your own guy accidentally, but maybe not. Maybe they can distinguish a little bit better. French ones seem like they're suffering a little bit more. This Spanish cavalry unit here, another dragoon unit, might need to be thrown in. The Royal Guard did survive pretty effectively, actually. Spanish certainly need to think about maybe retreating. They're a little bit too flat, I feel. They're just kind of getting, flanked right now by the French. They need to turn this flank. There's another bayonet charge goes in there. Both cavalry units broke here, and Archibald Campbell is back into the fight. And it seems like the British are trying to retreat and maybe try and rejoin the Spanish right in what order they can. But yeah, the French have a lot of cav out here that is just harassing the British right now, threatening to flank them. Another great charge there by the dragoons, shattering the Spanish centre there. None of these units seem to be able to form square. Volunteers here from somewhere in Spain. And they're bright green uniforms. This is the thing with Spain as well. How could they ever expect to be disciplined if they all had different uniforms? They just like all, it's the most multicolored army, I think, behind maybe Austria or the HRE. Or maybe even ahead of them, to be honest. Like, they're literally in every colour under the sun. Red, blue, green, yellow, as you can see, white, brown uniforms. They're in all sorts. Actually, I'm going to say the Spanish are probably the most multicolored. I don't think the HRE are that multicolored. But yeah, a good charge here, trying to break those dragoons, but the Spanish infantry really is like up to its usual sort of business of breaking just about everything. It's really struggling here. But the Domingo Sierra, another volunteer unit from Lyon. How you pronounce that any different from the French city, but there you go. Certainly seems like the French are doing this consistent, like, bayonet charging. They are taking a fair few losses of their own. Like, they are breaking French units, and some will return, but it's just never the same for morale. Spain finally getting, realizing the French aren't coming on this flank over here, and they're shifting a whole army over, which is great to see. Plenty of infantry shifting, but again, lock can't form square. Maybe this cav could rush over a bit quicker. I don't know, but the Spanish struggling a little bit. It's an aggressive tactic by the French. I don't know whether it'll work. Well, you can see a lot of French infantry broke there. The cav is going to go from the charge by looks. I mean, every cav charge is obviously a danger to the Spanish, because most of their infantry cannot form square. That was a good charge, a good volley though, sorry, by the Spanish is what I meant to say. They got a good volley and routed that French cav effectively. The danger seems like it might be over now a little bit for the Spanish, but for a long, long time they were getting pushed back, and Now that there are reserves on the way, this certainly seems a bit more reassuring. Personally, think just keep the Spanish army about where it is in reserve. It can either go left now and help Akana, or it can go right and it can go and help this Spanish Anglo-Spanish front here. Speaking of Anglo fronts, the British have just about reformed on this right-hand side here. The Dorset foot are getting ready. Turn and fire on those Frenchies. Go on, do Britain proud, and rout this damn French army. And they still got their good cav unit alive. They still got the Dragoon Guards good, and they still got a cavalry battalion. But as you can see, French way in behind with cavalry. The Spanish cav is going to have to try and do a shift back here. And honestly, the British cav will have to support this. The Dragoon Guards, they're scary. They can do a lot of damage, but they can still be flanked and they can still be beaten. The British here. In a line fight, Britain should do okay. Britain needs to stay in a line fight and beat the French. And they'll do just fine. They will take casualties, as you can see here. Men starting to drop. Going off, so you gotta rally your men. Rally those men. For the king! It does seem like a little bit of a lack of artillery here, but here we go. Another charge from the French Dragoons going in for the Scout unit, and a counter charge by, it's like Spanish Cavalry. I don't know if this is better than Dragoons or if it's like just, I think it might be. They look pretty good. They're winning slightly as well, and you can tell from morale. In fact, those Theodoras are actually held like hell. They didn't break. There you go, French cav repelled. And eventually, I don't know, I mean, there might be another French army over here. It looks like there is on this hill line that is not committed. They still have cav, but to be honest, the French, they're kind of thinning out on the cav a little bit. Certainly on the front. At the back, obviously, there's still got 2 or 3 units that we're aware of. But yeah, certainly seems over here a lot slower. I mean, attacking this city could be a bit of a rough one for the French. Their infantry looks set and ready to go, but not quite yet. More artillery over here, just pounding the Spanish lines. I can hear a countercharge going in from the British. They're actually sending their Dragoon Guards. This is risky, to be honest. I mean, they could do a pretty good job, but honestly, I'd have been using this unit as a defensive unit, and morale is going down quickly. Wow. Yeah, they broke quickly. And that's a big loss for Britain. I think they wasted that heavy cav unit. It should have been really been used defensively against the French cav. And you can see Spain now going in for an attack on this, looks like a little hussar unit, or something. I don't know, it could be quite, it looks like a hussar unit taken out by the Dragoons there. And now we're going to see, looks like, French Dragoons countercharge. And the Spanish one's getting overpowered there. So both sides trading a cav unit, but the French have plenty more back here. To be fair, so do the Spanish. They have plenty of cav back here waiting. They just need to protect their rear. I mean, the French will be patient and wait. Well, I say that. Don't know. Looks like the Spanish are going to send in their cavalry. They're going to catch, looks like a chevalier here or something. I'm not sure what this unit is actually for the French. Could be a chevalier. It looks like they're going to take it out, whatever it is. 2 cavalry going in there. Another French cav unit coming in over here. This is a big, healthy Dragoon unit. And they're going to go in. The Spanish was the one over there. Yeah, they got good, heavy cav here. And the Prince of Wales' own Dragoons are back. Oh, yeah. Both Spanish and French cav. Well, I was going to say, both were on low morale, but the French turned it around and routed both of the Spanish units. We're going to see the Prince of Wales' own Dragoon Guards go in. They are tired. Are they going to try and like squash this unit? I would try it. This is really what the British cav should have been used for, taking out other cav. Here we go. Really, they should just try and squash this unit here. They're going to get sandwiched in. I think this might be the end of the Dragoon unit. Yeah, that's it. So I think that's danger avoided now for the allies with French cav in behind them. I don't think there's any more. It was costly, but they did a good enough job. British need to tolerance this cav now, be patient, let it sort of regain its energy, and maybe you could go for infantry charges or just use it for future cav fights, because there are, like I said, still plenty of cav on this side. Lots of looks like chasseurs over here actually being set up, and more dragoons here. And it looks like we're about to see a push on this right flank here by the French. Well, French right, Allied left. And in fact, there is a British unit behind enemy lines here. Oh, it's just artillery. It's an artillery gun unit. Don't think that's going to do too much damage, but you never know. But certainly for now, it seems as though, I don't know, it seems quite evenly matched, I'd say. The French have lost a lot of cav, but in quite a few ways they still hold a infantry advantage over the Allies. I personally think head to head, the French beat the Spanish infantry in both melee and also in a line fight. Britain in melee certainly is going to be a bit of a problem with no general now as well. And the line fight, I think they still win against the French. And I mean, the French aren't out of cav either. They still seem to have like at least 3 or 4 units. So a tiny little cav unit actually coming forward here. That little lance unit coming forward again, trying to go for the artillery there. But the infantry did enough. It actually managed to rout a few infantry units there. Well, a infantry unit. So it looks like this is going to be Blake and... Oh no, is it Blake on his own? I think it's just Blake, and then we have Santo Sildes, actually. Santo Sildes, and then we have Aranzo as well. So there's only one Blake, maybe. So I do apologize. Looking at the map, I imagine there is stuff here, but imagine if the coalition forces just kind of smashed through the center here and split these two armies into... They could almost do a reverse Akana and just kind of almost encircle the two French armies. Or at least try and like do a crescent formation on the two, like two separate crescents, blocking them off from each other. Certainly this right-hand army is out of cavalry, or it seems like it's out of cavalry anyway. And we've got a infantry charge here by the French. They're going in against, looks like just some basic Spanish infantry. And instead of retreating, they could have maybe got a volley off, but actually just damage the French here. But instead, they decided just to retreat. Looks like we're going to see the Spanish do maybe a rear shot onto this unit, try and help that fight. But they honestly might just help rout their own unit. Yeah. And the French, to be honest, could take Akana pretty easily. The Spanish really not fighting for the streets that much. They're going to hold the edge of the build, like edge of it, and that is it. And here comes more French cav going in. Dragoons going in, found a unit that can't form square. We've got some more cav coming up from the Spanish. They're going to chase down the French ones. Oh, they need to be careful. That artillery there just shot a lot of its own cavalry. Did do damage to the infantry, but yeah, they look like they're just going to kill their own cav. Jeez, that's a lot of cav. Yeah, they routed their own cavalry unit there, did the artillery. What a foolish thing to do. They could have just firing this artillery at that one infantry unit. They could have used that cav just to do that same job. And here we go. The cav's going to go in and get the artillery now. And the dragoons did break, but they might. Well, they're going to take the artillery off their, like the carriage is gone. So the artillery's stuck here, which is not the worst place in the world, but I think it's going to be, round 2 now is going to be used by the French to try and get in around those stakes and try and do the same job. And here we go. Here comes the dragoons, they're going to try and do the same thing. And that artillery's gone for now, I think, and there's only skirmishers behind to try and save this artillery. Oh, actually, I mean, they did rout the French dragoon, but before they routed themselves. But the French did achieve their job, unfortunately. I thought they might have actually done it. I thought it was going to require a 3rd cavalry unit to come in and do it. Looks like they're going to send the 3rd one forward anyway. I think maybe just to try and spear through the center. They want to try and get this skirmish unit, and they go for the general. Blake is just behind. Where this infantry hit, they can form square, but Blake could be in trouble. But yeah, you can see they're going to try and crash through this skirmisher, and then if Blake's, the general that's playing Blake, is not aware, yeah, he's in trouble here, potentially. Oh, that infantry unit just caught him, and the Prince of Wales Dragoons are arriving. Blake still needs to get out of there. He's actually going into combat. What a madman. Get out of there, man. There you go. The French cav actually might break here. Red morale, being chased by the Dragoon Guards. Will they countercharge the British? Doesn't look like it. But yeah, I mean, artillery lost. They're going to need to get infantry into that gap in the line. Just stop cavalry units coming through, just trying to smash through the skirmishers, get Blake, if they're going to keep him there. But yeah, it certainly seems like it's going a little bit rough over on that side. Britain, I don't know where he's retreated his infantry to the center. So he's now shifting across, I think, to fill the gap maybe over here. Maybe he's just like, Iranzo, you can take this flank here. You're relatively healthy for Spanish army, and Santo Sildes is also here as well to do the job. Blake is now on this left flank, which I think he always has been, potentially. Here we go, yeah, the British sitting in their cav again, routing the Dragoons, but they did do some damage. Broke a few of these infantry units here. It's certainly a costly defense that is being put up here by the Spanish. They're trading quite a few units to break the French units here. One of the positives, at least for the Spanish, is they can bring a lot of units if they need to. A lot of trash. Got some heavy cav here for the Spanish. It's like a cuirassier unit. Challenging some more dragoons of the French. Looks like the French have changed their mind about fighting this heavy cav here and are running for their lives. But here we go, a determined push now from infantry and cavalry coming from the French. Nothing like insanely elite, it just seems like it's just like infantry. I mean, these look like grenadiers potentially, I think. I think these might be with their red plumes. Maybe these ones as well. Or they might just be Spanish infantry that are fighting for the French. Another cavalry push coming on here. They see that the Spanish are red morale. They can't form square either here. Well, not all of them can. Here they go. Yeah, they're going to go for that unit as well on red morale. The British are in behind, so whether they'll form square, protect any sort of a push here yet. They're doing exactly doing that. Really well played there by the British. Making a wall of squares. And that cavalry may have broken that one unit. They got out of there pretty effectively, actually. Still broke, looks like an infantry unit there, the British and the Spanish. And Aranzo now on this side, he seems like he's doing a good job. I mean, his healthy infantry seems like it's holding. He's got infantry reserves, which is very important. French now pushing on this extreme right, coming back over here. Aranzo does have infantry ready and guns. Yeah, I think certainly this artillery is really helping him. The French don't seem to have much in the way of artillery on this side here to help. They've reset their artillery up to the center here to try and punch through. And here we go, bayonet charge coming. Looks like we're going to see a small infantry unit go for a 6-pounder here, try and take it out. And looks like we're going to see some volunteers from Coruña go in and try and stop them. Cav also going in. Looks like that's trying to take it. I'm not sure what that's taking out. Just an infantry that could form square as well. Bit of a loss here if they break this unit. Yep, they broke it, and now comes forward the British cav. Right now, it just seems like a bit of a trading match with that Dragoon unit breaking there. We are seeing the volunteers of Coruña break here. This French infantry keeps pushing forward, but it's breaking itself. Red morale kind of across the front at the moment in a few areas. The gun crews setting back up. It's enough for them to mount a gun or two. But yeah, it's certainly looking a little bit costly for the French right now. I mean, they're not making really any breakthroughs right now. But I'm sure it was a petrifying experience playing them. Because right now the French cavalry is just a demon. An absolute demon. We've got French infantry again pushing in here. This looks like a sapper or something like unit. That's just been routed by the dragoons. Try to rout a few of the Spanish units. I think he achieved a couple of routing units. Well, I routed a few units. That is it. Yeah, the French coming forward again in full force on this side here. The Spanish seem more than capable of holding at the moment. This gun will probably just turn and blast away what's in front of it. Seems like a lot of allied infantry. We've got like Germans here, like Berenberg troops. These seem like Spanish infantry. Yeah, Berenberg troops there again. So the quality might be a little bit depreciated on this flank here. This looks like Spanish infantry as well. And the Spanish heading forward at one of their like little cavalry units here, Cazadores unit. So they're going to try and go for these guns. And they're going to have to clash with the chasseurs here of France. The Spanish, in fact, did lose that. Can the British get a few volleys off onto their cav? No, it seems like it's a no. Could they just push here? Could the British push? There doesn't seem like there's much here. There's guns and there's cav. They can push with their infantry and try and take these guns. The cav tries to chase them down. Try and form a squad. I don't know, maybe that's a little too much cav now to even try that. But again, there seems like a lot of pressure on all these fronts now for the Spanish. As you can see here, it's looking like a thin line. There aren't too many reserves. The British making up most of the reserve at the moment here. It was a unit I just saw out here that was the French. It was on the map. It was way out here on its own. So whether we've got cav flanking round, potentially. But yeah, it seems like the main push kind of shifted from this side over here. But they are now still fighting in the town of Akana. Infantry unit here. It seems like it's swamping. Also maybe the French infantry unit in there. Swamping that, pushing them back out of Akana. Can this cav though countercharge? This unit can't form square. So there's a good chance they could break it still. In they go. Yeah, this could be a good trade for the French here. There you go, routing that unit and trying to reclaim their position on Nakana. Yeah, the Spanish starting also struggle on this side. I mean, it's only Teodoro's breaking, but they're all in the end extra units that could be holding on. Yeah, the French. Their main push seems like it's now shifting to this right-hand side. The cav is coming this way as well, or at least going center. I feel like they probably have they feel like they could break through here to the French. Combatant losing slightly. Yeah, they certainly are outgunning the Spanish here with the amount of units they have. Whether the British need to go into the line again, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Spanish could do with a bit of a rest. They've been fighting this entire fight. Near bayonet charge somewhere. Oh, it's the French over here. They're charging into the side of the Spanish unit here. Right by the British. And they broke it pretty easily. Couldn't they get the next one? Probably. Morale is low, but a good volley there from the British could rout the French here, save the Spanish. They broke the French, but the Spanish did break anyway. Now we've got cav pushing forward. There's plenty of stakes to block them off. Artillery here just pounding away at the Spanish as well, just putting a few holes into this unit. There's a general back here as well, Aranzo, he needs to be careful. We've got a little cavalry unit flanking around. Can he get some rear charge maybe on these French units there? They certainly seem like, well, this is a Dutch unit here, like a Nassau. They're certainly more like allied troops here. So they might be able to form square, these guys. So they might be for the taking, yeah, more Dutch here. Yeah, they might be for the taking, these guys. The French again making a push in the center here. units routing, but they might be able to take out this this bright light blue Spanish unit here. Antonio Garces has been broken. And again, the French come forward here. What is this on? An artillery piece here, 6 or an 8 pounder. Nah, it's gone. 9 pounder, in fact, sorry. Oh, and they're going to get a Blake. Oh, no, this is Santa Clara. So they're getting to one of the generals. Okay, so we are back. Unfortunately, the replay did crash, but we are basically back to where we left off. And as you can see, Santa Clara has been routed here by the French dragoons. We now have the British dragoon guards coming in to try and support this situation. It looks like the Spanish general might go out there. I don't know whether he'll really re-rally, but they've lost another general. Have the coalition right now. That is a big loss there. A very successful charge there by the French dragoons, which is just going to have done a lot of damage to this Spanish corps. Santa Claudi's there is in a bit of trouble. Yeah, the Spanish looking a little bit rocky. The British now back in the front lines here with their infantry. And this is a seriously close fight now. I mean, the French look like they were, like, not out of it, but they seemed like they were running low on reserves, running low on men. But in theory, with 2 generals down, the coalition, they're low on morale, they're in trouble. There actually is there is a French cavalry unit in behind. Look at this, a relatively healthy Chasseur Cheval as well. It's hunting for generals, so by the looks of it. This British cav back here might need to dash across. It's fresh. Maybe not run, but needs to certainly be getting across. We do have Iranzo over here that is maybe in a bit of danger, but there also is some cavalry nearby to defend him. But they do need to be aware of that. Blake, I believe, is still alive as well somewhere. Yeah, he is quite well protected by infantry. But yeah, this French cav, we've got to keep an eye on it. It's certainly going to be playing a part in this battle to come. Volunteers are kind of cool for the Spanish here. They look like almost like grenadiers with their strange hats. They're doing okay for now. Battling away, it looks like some of those coalition troops, allied troops for the French. I don't know if there's any infantry here for the French, but there is just a gun just stood here on its own, and then a general. Could they push with some infantry and get that, or a cav unit? Go and get that. Like, surely that's up for debate. For the Spanish here, like Aranzo could, sure, I don't know, there must be some infantry here protecting it. But I can't see any. I mean, the Spanish must have a clear line of sight on them. Maybe not. I mean, the French, their strongest positions now seem like on this right here, relatively strong. They have even some reserves in the center. This is also their strongest point here. The left, way out here, not much going on like we saw. And here we go, the Spanish cav now coming in. Caballeria coming in. Looks like they're going to go for a general. All for these guns. They'll certainly get the guns. Whether they get the general as well, he just got hit actually by an artillery piece. They're certainly going to go and get these guns, take them out. But he's going to have to just run towards Spanish lines. That's a danger in itself. They're just going to run through that unit. They're just going to yeah, they're going for the general straight away. Go and get that general. Infantry here going to try and put some volleys into that French cav. Yeah, the general here, low morale. Can the Spanish cav get him? No, doesn't look like they will. And here we go, French cavalry now arriving to try and scare off Blake's cavalry. They need to be careful holding fire so they don't shoot their own cavalry here. But a bit of a win there. And like I said, that was definitely an option for the Spanish. There's nothing here. Cavalry broke actually, just getting shot by its own men. That's a bit of a, that would have been a bit of a rip. But taking out the gun, big win there. Still some healthy French cav though. It's not really Chasseur Cheval at this point, but still healthy cav that could cause problems. This general here just narrowly escaped. I think it's, I don't know which general it is actually. Don't recognize him. We've got another general there. Artillery here, still ready to fire. Looking glorious. French on this side actually over here starting to see red morale and routing troops here. So just as I was saying that they were strongest here. It looks like they're actually pulling back a little bit and losing men. I think the big push is going to come anyway now as the center. They've gathered troops here ready for a push on this Spanish front. They've routed some Tiradores there, but they're just skirmishers. The British are here to support. I think one combined push here with infantry and maybe cav, they could maybe break through. But these infantry are so small, they're depleted now. A lot of them wouldn't withstand one volley during a bayonet charge. And that's what I think they're worried about. I think they're going to try and maybe just break the Spanish with a line fight. I hope they can roll up. It's certainly really even right now in that center. French is getting routed on this left flank over here. It looks like these flanks are just made up of Allied troops. Yeah, these are all just like Spanish troops here, loyal to Napoleon. What they're going to need is like a charge from this cavalry here. If they can get it into the back lines, try to do some damage. Like Spanish troops here, low on morale. There's hope for the French. There is certainly hope. But it is going to be a really narrow fight, near a narrow finish. Is this a grenadier unit? Maybe it is. Pedro Granaderos Provinciales. I think it is. I think this is, I was looking at the wrong unit, maybe. I don't know. These seem like a grenadier unit, like a provincial grenadier, like a reserve grenadier unit, maybe? I don't know. They look exactly the same in, like, dress to these guys, the volunteers of Palma. Like I'm saying, the Spanish army is very confusing. I'm not quite sure how they work together with all these confusing different uniforms. So here we go, a charge coming off from the French here, going in for the artillery. Looks like they're going to catch it. Spanish, oh, and they could get the general behind. Aranzo here is in danger, being caught. The French cavalry did break, but Aranzo needs to get a rally off or something. He's in a bit of danger, but yeah, that was nearly pulled off. Where the French could have charged with the other unit at the same time, like sandwiched the two, because these Spanish cavalry can't be everywhere. We are seeing a retreat right now from the coalition forces. They're not happy with that center fight. Britain, I feel like, needs to shift more this way. Like, let Blake and I think it's Santa Clyde is whatever they got left on this side, and a bit of Varanzo's actually here as well. Just let them mop up the French here. I think the French are finished on this flank. The center's where it's going to be made or broken for the coalition forces here. But the French certainly aren't eager to keep pushing forward. They're pushing forward a bit, but they're not eager to advance. It's a bit worrying when you're like helping shoot like Berenberg troops and Spanish boys. Reload. Fire when ready. Or not, or hide. This is also possible. Oh, looks like we got French cavalry here. Is that getting chased by the by the Dragoon Guards? They need to be careful, these guys. They've just gone back to like fresh, which is great. You don't want to go chasing off across the map. They keep them close. Just keep them close to the Allied lines. Seems like, yeah, Allies are going to keep retreating. Seems like a bizarre thing to do. I feel like they had the French on the run. Also, if they're retreating so far, they won't be able to see where the French are. I mean, to be fair, so the French can't see them. Most of the troops are now hidden. This artillery could be caught though. This is just pushed up quite rapidly on its own. Could they catch that with a little cav unit maybe? French cav is pretty far away. Unless it's hidden, but I mean there's a... Yeah, that artillery is kind of rushed up pretty quickly. That could have been a mistake. I think they're most worried about this artillery. I think they're just trying to retreat from the artillery of the Allies. Yeah, I mean, you see the battle lines here. My gosh, like the bodies on this battlefield are brutal. Like, that's the battle for the center. There's a lot of dead Spanish there. I think I can see more dead Spanish than I can French. But I don't know, but hard to tell. The artillery infantry unit, what's it doing back there? The battle for the right seems pretty brutal as well. Not as bad. The center has certainly been where the most action has been spotted. This grenadier unit, I kind of want to see it do a bayonet charge, or at least have to take on one on. Spanish on the right, though. I think they've got the French in the right, in the where they want them, right where they want them. It seems like we're going to see the British now shift from the centre over to this right-hand side again. I mean, you've got to remember the coalition forces at the start of this fight lost the British general, quite a good portion of the British army as well, quite quickly. They've done a good job to stabilize this front after like losing a really good portion of the British army straight away. And then they've been slowly eroding this French army. Done a really good job. I mean, both sides have as well. The French keeping themselves in the game so long and still being able to threaten. The cavalry has been exceptional this game. It's not and it's not over yet. I'm not writing any side off right now, especially when you're doing things like that, nearly taking out Aranzo. He just went down to orange morale. Bit of a volley from the artillery, nearly took him out. Doing a good hit there onto that cuirassier unit as well. Really routing that. That actually did rout it. Wow, that's a win there for the French, taking out an artillery unit. They could do that again, maybe take out the cavalry of the Prince of Own Dragoon Guards. I think that's all the cavalry then for the coalition gone. And then this little, well, it's not even little, that very healthy chasseur there has full reign of the back lines of the coalition, which I think is the main threat now for the Spanish and the British. If they can get one cavalry unit in behind these lines and break the Spanish lines, which the majority of the army is, the French could quite easily mop up the rest of the coalition forces. Like the British, are very much safe from cavalry charges as they form square, but the Spanish aren't so much. They have got some squares, but not all their units are squareable like the British. British are, shifting back over to their original right-hand flank. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, and so there's no artillery for the coalition left alive, but at least it seems like there isn't. I don't think there is at all, not a single one. So I mean, the French can just sit and just fire on the Allied lines and just try and just pound them, which I think is what they're going to try and do. More worryingly for the coalition, they've lost sight of that chasseur now. The Prince of Wales' own dragoons here must have got some incredible kills, I would have thought. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit because there isn't really too much going on just at this very second. There's a little bit of a line fight, but not much. The French and the coalition's forces resetting up, really. Just trying to, find the best position for themselves. It seems like the French are pushing hard in the centre here, though. Whether they, I don't know, maybe they could have gone for a bit of a charge there, potentially. Spanish kind of got a bit of a gap in their lines with this windmill there, so whether that's a gap they could exploit, the French. Artillery here just pounding again onto these units. I mean, morale for the Spanish is dropping quickly when an artillery hits pretty well. That's brutal there. I mean, look at this as well. Spanish infantry already on orange morale, not really even like fighting anyone. I think it's just maybe because of routing troops nearby. I'm not sure. Infantry sways a de Zay. Look kind of cool. Thought maybe being called like sways, they're like Swiss infantry maybe, but I'm not sure. It's kind of like similar to Swiss, but I don't think it is anything like that. Looks like we are about to see a stand by the Spanish on this left flank anyway here. Looks like they're quite happy stood here. The French certainly doesn't look like they've got much to make an assault there. I think they're just going to, like I said, pound the lines. Any push is really going to come here on this side with the right. The British and the French actually having a bit of a line battle out here. Quite a minor fight. The British was kind of low on morale. Artillery here though, could that Spanish cavalry go and get that? I don't know, maybe. They might have to sacrifice themselves, but they could take it out Potentially. This Dragoon here might be able to deal with the cavalry. I'm not sure. But they're going to have to deal with this artillery somehow. They can't just keep letting it just pound the Spanish lines. It seems to be being a problem for the Spanish at the moment. I mean, it's got a good line just to shoot straight down all the Spanish infantry here. There you go. Starts firing away, hitting that infantry there. And again, the French are pushing forward. They actually are pushing on this right-hand side. Or their right, the Allied left. There's some pretty poor morale over on this side here for the volunteers of Coruña. If they could get a good artillery hit, they could maybe rout some of these guys. Caballero, they're getting hit as well. I think that's what they're trying to do, take out the cavalry with their artillery. So they can then use those chasseurs to great effect. The infantry here all using that windmill as a bit of barricade from the artillery, which is trying to do a lot of damage right now. Here we go, routing Spanish troops along the line. That's 3 units already gone there. And the Spanish retreating once again. The French, they need to push hard if they're going to take advantage of this. British are just staying as reserves right now. Looking the other way. I guess making sure that that Spanish infantry can't be rear charged by cavalry, which is somewhere loitering back here still. We know there is at least one chasseur cheval back there. Very healthy as well. There's at least 2 weakened dragoon units as well. That's just on this side. Doubt they'll make a frontal charge though. Yeah, I mean this is the when we do the actual historical battle of the Khan, I hope it's as close as this one. My gosh, is it close? Oh, hilarious! Actually, hilarious. That British artillery unit back there has been routed by some French unit there. I don't know what that is. Oh, I can hear charging. I can hear charging. The Spanish going in for charge hit on French infantry by the looks of it. Routing that. So Zapadora is doing a good job there. Routing them. Really well done. It's actually kind of helping retake the town. And you've got the Dragoon Guards coming in. And they're rear charging the back of the French. And they're going in for a charge hit. Instead, we've got some Polish grenadiers going in, trying to counter those Dragoon Guards. Did a good job. And what have we got here? Some volunteers of Ribeiro. I don't think they'll stop the Polish grenadiers. This could be a dangerous unit that could do a lot of damage still. Spain is coming forward. They're really going to try and take out these guns. Spain being aggressive here. Can Britain come up and be aggressive as well? They need to come in there and maybe support and retake, take over those holes that are formed when the Spanish start to retreat. Because they don't seem like they're doing immensely well. This unit is actually doing okay. Privia Junta holding the line here. We've got some more infantry there. Can they push into the guns though? They need to. Here we go. We've got some grenadiers over here as well. From the Catalan Legion. Yeah, the French piling on down here. Red morale. I think this is the guns being taken out in fact. So there you go. The guns got on this flank here. That's a loss for the French, and there you go. The French now maybe on the run on this flank. If they can just be super aggressive with the Spanish and the British, they could, in fact, turn that flank. There you go. Polish grenadiers as well being routed. That's a big win there. Well done by the Privia Junta. And yeah, this French flank's on the run. They need to just keep moving. Just keep on going. Don't let the French set up. Can the Spanish, yeah, now that the French infantry shifting this way to block this flank, there are opportunities by the looks of it to go for these guns as well. And you can see that we have got infantry here pushing forward. Looks like they're going to go for it. Line infantry setting up. Looks like this infantry unit here. Maybe not. He's not even going to slow down for that. Just going to go straight on in. Yep, he's just going straight on in. Morale kind of dropping for the French here as well. All in orange. Red. Very nice. Look at that. There's 1, 2, 3 units there. All drop really quickly. I mean, the Spanish are trying to 3v1 here. We've got some infantry going in there for the more infantry going in for the Spanish. French cav though now starting to show its space, and it looks like they did rout Aranzo here, so he is now maybe dead. And certainly the Aranzo corps is now leaderless. I don't think there is much. Actually, holds his right flank over here, he does. That could do damage to morale. But at the moment, it does seem as though we've got the remains of Santa Claire's and Blake's corps on this side here, starting to do some damage. And Aranzo is sending forward his infantry here. They may be leaderless, but they might not matter. They're going to try and catch these guns. They look like they might rout them. Yeah, there you go, routed. Spanish cavalry might need to be mobilized. The artillery over here, this horse artillery, sets up. Can he get a volley off? Maybe slow down this advance on this flank here. We still have some dragoons here as well to do the job. But the French are on the run, and all of a sudden, the Spanish are in the primacy. I mean, that French cav is still in the back lines. I think the British are in charge of defending against it. Blake is still here as well, defended by British squares. The Spanish, though, they need to be careful because they will tire. All this running trying to chase these French, they will tire, and they just need to be careful of that. That could affect them in melee. And look at this, they're being thrown back on this side here. We're going to see another charge. This is Württemberg infantry they're charging into. It's not proper French infantry. It could be a bit more even, but we'll see. A good charge there by the French cav. Blake is in a little bit danger again here. Losing more infantry. He needs to form square with any of his squares possible. Doesn't look like he's got any. They could have carried on to that French cav and taken out even more of Blake's corps. Britain is now having to bring up some reserves. He's going to have to do a bit more than just defend the flanks. He might have to take on what remains of the French. It's incredibly close. They are literally like neck and neck, I'd say, in like sort of size. There's right flank now for the Spanish, flanking around the side of the windmill. Again, the French are shifting back. More troops to this left-hand side, I think, just to back it up. Morale's not looking great, though, for some of the French units. I think it's just because they're watching their comrades rout. And certainly this flank here is made up, as we know, of foreign troops, like Dutch and Spanish troops. So they're definitely for the taking. The artillery on this flank here might slow down the Allied advance, though. It's the remaining one. It is a horse artillery. As you can see here, Spanish line is now going to set up. They should need a rest. Take a moment. French morale seems a little bit dangerously low at the moment in some areas. Definitely worth just slowing down. Maybe you could be aggressive on this right-hand flank where the Allied troops are. Certainly with the British now arriving as well, they could even, they could flank even further around if they wanted to. They just need to keep the remaining generals safe, which I think is just Blake. I think Blake is the remaining general alive. Like, Beresford's gone, Santa Claire's gone, Aranzo's gone. Yeah, Blake needs to keep himself alive, otherwise this coalition army's leaderless. I don't know if any of the French generals actually have been killed yet. One here. There's another one here. There's another one here for sure. Maybe one routed, but I don't think any have died. This is certainly turning into one insane Peninsular clash. Morale here is certainly not looking good. Well, units, this is just some Württemberg troops, yeah. Like I said, the Allied troops, they're just not as enthused to fight for France as the actual Frenchies are. Though I think there's an actual French unit just routed there. And again, the line retreats more, yeah, more French routing. They were actually Württemberg troops. They can try and catch this side here, this left flank. They're in real trouble. Spanish could maybe do a decisive blow here, get a charge off maybe. If the British just hurry up, get around this flank, they can catch a lot of them. Oh, look at this. Morale is dropping. Get a good volley into the back. At least 2 units to break here. One little bit of light cav would do just great work right now. So close, but so far to breaking these guys. Now the French on this side as well is looking a little bit dicey here. Can they hold on for their Emperor? Vive l'Emperor! The war cry will go up. Here we go. French cav now making an appearance in this right flank here. The Dragoons looking like they're going to try and make something happen here for France. Are they going to try and dash down this flank here with the Spanish? If they can, they could do a lot of damage here. I think there is some... These are routing troops to the Spanish actually just now. Yeah, look at this. The French kind of have the outflank on the Spanish on this side. Here we go. Dragoons going in. These guys can't form square. You need to be careful that the French don't shoot their own Dragoons. Yeah, these infantry sways are here. Can't form square. We're now going to see the cavalry come up. They might just be about to send off those Dragoons, but they did rout 1 Spanish infantry. A bit of a win. Still like 1 Worcestershire foot way out there on that flank here. The British really just flanked around. The wonky donkey. Oh, here comes that French cav. These British infantry need to get forward. They need to get into the front line. I don't know what they're doing. Cavalry here going to get swamped and killed. You imagine it's just tired and depleted. And Blake is now open for an assault. It looks like they're going to have to send in the Cazadores. The Aragon, can they form square? They can. They can save Blake. But they can't save the Spanish center here. Grenadiers here in a lot of trouble. I hope to see them go into melee. They are sort of, but with cavalry they do break because they can't form square. And yeah, look at that. Dragoons and Chasseurs sandwich the Spanish center. That is a bit of a loss there. And still, and now it looks like the Spanish could be the ones to break first.
Our men are running.
This is an incredible fight. The British really need to get forward. They need to come and save the day. They've got some units just scattered about. That just could be elsewhere. A Chasseur did break. That's a bit of a win for the Spanish and the British, I guess. And here we go. The Dragoons going in. Again, it looks like they're going to try and go for this General. Blake's actually routed. I think he might have routed for like maybe a musket, like friendly or French musket volley, whether it's like a square or something that fired accidentally into him. But yeah, they've got no general now, have the Spanish. Or the British, in fact. So that could do a lot of damage to morale. This Dragoon now looks like it's going to be a problem in behind enemy lines. Try and do some damage. The infantry here was in square and came out. Could break here. So red morale is going to form square again. And the Dragoons did break. But they did break that Spanish infantry as well. So again, the French now look like they could win this battle. An incredible battle this has certainly been. It could come down to the wire. We have 10 minutes left of the replay. I don't know if we're actually going to see the full 10 minutes or whether one side will win it before then. But it's certainly going to be a close finish. What is this unit back here? This is an artillery crew? Yeah, this looks like an artillery crew. That's for the horse artillery. They're dismantled. And they're now going to try and reform. We've got a few French generals back here that are low on men as well. Low morale, in fact. They've been hit a few times. And look at that. The coalition force is now retreating again. It's incredible. This is actually a nuts finish. I mean, the French have no infantry left, really. Is this actually a cav unit of theirs? They do actually have a cav unit. It's 1 Dragoon hangs on. They have the only cav unit. And they have only got the only side with generals as well. I don't know. The coalition have got some pretty plucky Brits. Spanish, to be honest, right now look like they could break it any moment. They're looking real dicey. But we're going to fast forward once again, as we're just waiting on both sides just to try and decide who's going to make the final move, the final killing blow. Could be either side, to be honest. Both are on their last legs. Looks like, I don't know where Britain's actually going to try and retreat to. Maybe they're going to just get on the road and try and go for Akana. They do have some troops over here, in fact. They do have Thomas Egerton's over here and the Zapadores. So they're going to try and do that. Certainly looks like that's where France is going. He's sending all his troops and they're going to try and take Akana. which is a 2-pointer. So it looks like we're going to now go for LOCs, which that is a way that you can win in NTW3. If you hold the LOC, that is another way to win, because well, it's just another way to win, just so you don't have like sort of boring draws. Yeah, I mean, we do have infantry in there for both sides now. Both Britain and Spain have infantry in there. They should be able to hold it for a little while, I thought. Certainly that. Well, actually, that British infantry is already on orange morale. That's not so great. Britain is desperately trying to get back to base. I just wonder whether those infantry that were scattered around could have helped in that last push for the coalition, where that would have helped. I mean, right now the French guns are just firing at the British as they come down this road. This is brutal. It's like a firing line almost here. Here we go. The French now starting to fight outside the building here. Looks like they kind of, I don't know. The British certainly seem like they're not doing too great here. French is kind of clumping up, firing into this building. In go the French, I think, again. They're going to try attempt 2 and going into the building. Red morale straight away. Honestly, don't think they're going to take it in this first attempt. Might just go to confusion. I think these Zappadoris are quite elite. Actually, the British, you know, got cleared out almost instantly. Jeez. Zappadoris are winning slightly. Really, they need to get these British infantry on the way. Get moving. Like, get going down this road and get here. The French setting up a small little force to try and defend it. This could be the way, though. This French infantry here taking its merry old time getting here. The French and the Spanish and the British have a road that can get there much quicker to Akana. Might be able to take out this French forces here. Both sides kind of low on morale. Looks like this French could just about get routed out of there, or maybe not. It's could really go either way. Morale is looking dicey for both sides here. And there you go, the French are taking the building. They now hold Akana. And the British need to get move on. The lines, though, they're not looking great. That was a good volley there by the British, though. Doing a lot of damage to that French infantry. Here come the Dragoons, though. They're going to try and threaten that British line. Honestly, oh no, this isn't the Dragoon, sorry. This is the artillery. They're just going to try and set up here and maybe support that building defense. Good idea. So it seems like the Spanish actually are quite happy just to sit here with one of their squarables. The remaining ones just shoot that Dragoon unit. Not a bad idea, to be honest. Take a few Dragoons down with you. Seems like the French player hasn't paid attention. And we're going to see a little infantry unit as well try and rush these guns. We saw that they were going to set up, and now they could be in trouble here. This could be huge for for both sides. In particular, this final artillery piece out, they could do a good amount of damage here. Weddenberg infantry charged in. They did rout the Spanish troops, but the French guns aren't safe yet. They nearly routed themselves. We're actually going to see an all-out Spanish push on those guns by the looks of it. The Dragoons did rout. Big win there. That's a bit of a sloppy move by the French, just letting them go. The French did successfully defend the building the first time from the British. British now sitting in, looks like the Dorset foot and the Northamptonshire foot. One of the French units starting to rout. Looks like the Dorset are actually going to retreat out of the building. They're going to send in the Somerset foot instead. Maybe a bit better in melee, who knows. The artillery here, red morale though. Can they charge them again while they're setting up? Looks like they're going to try the infantry here. Going to try exactly that. Morale not looking great for those guns as they charge in. They dealt with one charge. Can they deal with another? No, they can't. Routed. French infantry now routing here. Building has been retaken by the Allies. The British are in the building and protecting it fairly well. The French now look like they are probably going to lose. They're down to... They actually still have got some infantry over here. How? Is this just infantry, like guns that they reclaimed for early in the battle? Maybe? But they've got a few infantry units left. Morale is not looking great. One general's still alive for sure. Others must have fallen that I just did not realize, or I don't know, just routed. Morale is, yeah, really bad now for the French. And I think that is going to be the battle. My gosh, there's literally a minute left of this battle. Yeah, that is unfortunate. It seems like the French just all routed there. And yeah, it looks like it's just going to be the guns and that general left. They just need routing by the Spanish. The British are just going to defend this building. But that is an incredible battle here at Akana. A true Peninsular battle, that is for sure. It's really come down to the wire. Probably one of the closest NTW3 battles that we have seen in a long time. And there you go. We've got some Cazadores of Aragon going in there. They're going to route that gun. The generals who goes in, well, he can route that infantry in it. He might, you know. His infantry kind of red morale. Oh no, he did in fact general. The general did die. There you go. But what a fight. Came down to the wire. So unfortunately, results have not come through for some reason. I'll see if I can find them on the in the Discord. I think I may have been sent them, but I'll have to check. If they have appeared, then I have found them. If I didn't find them, then they won't have appeared. But this was sent in by Richard the Lionheart. So thank you very much, man, for sending this one in. The usual sort of NTW3 peeps that were playing in this one, as usual. Yeah, if you'll see, you may see the kills, you may not. Some probably amazing ones there for both sides. I mean, 108 kills for one of these infantry units here, 93 for some more artillery, getting 89 kills. Nothing insane here for Richard, but yeah, did a solid job, held the line. Which general he was playing as Blake. Is that cool? I thought he might have been, kept his general around to the very end. But yeah, an incredible battle. I hope you guys did enjoy. Do remember, leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. It really does help out the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next NTW3 battle. Until then.